Ah, fixed deposits. We all think of them as the safest place to park our money, don't we? And for the most part, you're right. But there are a few little traps hiding in the fine print that you really need to know about. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on those. Let's dive in. So, is your FD 100% safe? I mean, that's the whole point, right? Well, yes and no. Turns out there are three, let's call them hidden traps, that can trip you up and even lead to some unexpected losses if you're not careful. And we're going to walk through every single one of them right now.
Okay, let's kick things off with trap number 1. Picture this. You're excited to see that interest payment hit your account, but when it does, a chunk of it is missing. What gives? Well, it's what I call the unexpected tax cut.
This little surprise is called TDS, which stands for tax deducted at source. Basically, the government requires banks to automatically cut a slice for taxes right from your interest earnings before they even pay you. And yeah, if you're not expecting it, seeing that smaller number can be a real shock to the system. But here's where it gets really interesting. What if you don't even earn enough to pay taxes? I mean, if your total income for the year is below the taxable limit, you shouldn't have to pay anything, right? The catch is your bank has no idea what your total income is, so they might just go ahead and deduct that tax anyway, just to be safe on their end. Now, don't worry, there's a super simple way to prevent this. It's all about these two magic forms, Form 15G or 15H. All you do is fill one out and give it to your bank. This is basically you raising your hand and saying, hey, just so you know, my income isn't taxable this year. And just like that, the bank won't deduct any TDS. You get your full interest, no questions asked, and you avoid the whole headache of filing a return just to get your own money back. All right, so we've sorted out the tax issue. That's a great start. But let's move on to something that's, frankly, even more critical. We're talking about what happens to your money after you're gone. And this is all about making sure it ends up in the right hands without any drama. You know, you hear stories all the time. The biggest fights in my family started over a bank deposit with no nominee. And while this quote on the screen is hypothetical, the sentiment behind it is 100% real. It's the kind of heartbreaking mess that happens when one tiny but absolutely crucial step gets missed. Honestly, it's a total nightmare. If you don't name a nominee, your hard-earned money essentially gets frozen. Your loved ones are then thrown into this horrible, long legal battle. They have to get succession certificates, deal with mountains of paperwork, and worst of all, it can cause terrible fights within the family about who deserves the money. It's just awful. And you can avoid all of that chaos with one simple action: adding a nominee. Think of it as leaving a clear note for the bank. It says, hey, if anything happens to me, just give this money to this person. That's it. It completely bypasses all the legal red tape and ensures your money goes where you want it to, quickly and peacefully. Okay, on to our third and final trap. And this one cuts right to the heart of why we use FDs in the first place: safety. We all assume that every single rupee we put in the bank is totally, completely safe, right? Even if the bank itself goes under? Well, let's talk about that. The good news is your deposits are insured. There's an organization called the DICGC, which is basically an arm of the RBI that provides this safety net. It's like an insurance policy for your money in the bank. But, and this is a huge but, just like any insurance policy, there's a key word you have to pay attention to: limit. So what's the limit? It's 5 lakh rupees. But here's the crucial part you absolutely need to remember. That's 5 lakh rupees per depositor, per bank. And that covers the total amount you have in that bank: your savings account, your current account, all your FDs, all bundled together. So if you have 6 lakhs in one bank, 1 lakh of that is technically uninsured. Okay, so that immediately brings up a really important question, right? What if you have more than that to invest? Let's say you've saved up 10 lakhs. How on earth do you invest it and make sure every single rupee is safe and sound? Well, there's a really smart, elegant solution to this. It's a simple strategy that smart investors use to make sure their entire nest egg is fully protected, even if it's way over the 5 lakh limit.
It's this simple. You just don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you have 10 lakhs, you put 5 lakhs in Bank A and you open another account and put the other 5 lakhs in Bank B. Boom. Just like that, you are now covered by 2 separate insurance policies. Each 5 lakh deposit is fully insured by the DICGC in its respective bank. It's a brilliant way to maximize your safety net.
So let's just quickly recap the FD security checklist. Number 1, if you're not in the taxable bracket, make sure you submit Form 15G or 15H. Number 2, this one's a must-do, no excuses, always add a nominee. And number 3, If your total investment is over 5 lakhs, spread it out across different banks. You get those 3 things right and you can rest easy knowing your money is as safe as it can possibly be. Look, by knowing these 3 little details, you've already leveled up. You're not just a saver anymore, you're a smart, informed investor who's in control. You're making sure your money is safe, secure, and stress-free. So here's a thought. Isn't it time to pull out your own FD papers and give them a quick checkup? You'll be glad you did.